Good morning, gentlemen. Got myself a nice refreshment. Trying a new flavor today. Whee! It's a good noise right there. So, this is a true morning stroll thoughts. The most true it's ever been. I know I've titled some of them morning stroll thoughts, but every single video that I've shot on my YouTube channel, like of me being outside, it's been on my morning stroll with God. And this is going to be the most genuine. That's really good. It's going to be the most genuine morning stroll thought because there is no agenda today. I'm just going to kind of let my mind roll. I'm just going to kind of let my mind move. And I'm just going to let God speak through me. Holy Spirit, you can dwell in this place. Lord Jesus, give me eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart that understands. Help me speak to this viewer in Jesus' name. I want you guys to be present in this moment. Oftentimes, I like to think that when people watch these morning stroll videos that they're taking a walk with me. It's like you're taking a walk with your friend. Take a walk with me, like your brother, your brother in Christ, you know? So, man, it's so crazy how good God is. We don't realize how good God is because we're so caught up in the world, right? God would be good if I had the car. God would be good if I achieved the goal. But at some point, when are you going to look back and realize how far you came, right? At some point, when are you going to realize that that God brought you out and saved you from so many different things, you know? I thought I saw somebody. But I always find this interesting, especially in men. I don't know about women because I don't really talk to girls. I only talk to my wife, to be honest with you. But every single sort of success a man can have is always correlated to some sort of materialistic item. And I don't understand that. Like, at what point can someone be very, very wealthy and just not flaunt it? And if that person on paper, that person on Instagram can tell you something, that person on YouTube can tell you something, you're not going to listen to them because they didn't spend $200,000 on some sort of car. They spent $200,000 on 10 different Section 8 rental properties. You know? At what point are we going to get over that materialisticness, that materialism? Do you guys seriously need proof of someone's success by materialistic fruit? You can't trust their fruit by their wisdom. You can't trust their fruit by their companies, stuff like that. You can't trust their fruit by their physique or their ability to speak. At what point are we going to be able to trust someone's fruit that isn't materialistic, right? I've always thought about this. I've always been a very ambitious person. But when I'm setting goals, I've been actually really good at this until the last 2 or 3 years of my life. All of my goals were things that didn't come with some sort of materialistic goal, like an achievement that I can be tangibly hold in my hands. It was always something that money couldn't buy. There's literally things that you can earn that no amount of money can give you, as like a skill set or amount of yards or like some sort of scholarship offer or something like that. All of my goals for my whole life until recently were for football. And in those things, I always found so much more enjoyment in me being good at something and me achieving goals that money couldn't buy, because no matter what, they couldn't be discounted. You can have a Lamborghini, but it could be discounted because someone else could have bought it for you, or you could rent it. But there's something to be said about when you have a masterful skill set in something that you can't just acquire, you know? Like right now, I'm chasing an MMA dream, and there's something to be said about a skill set that you can't buy. That is the greatest form of riches, like one of the greatest form of riches, I believe. There's just something to be said about that. Like for me, I've always been someone that I was never impressed by money. When I was a kid, I've seen very rich people. I've had an interesting life to the fact that my family's been rich and poor. Like pretty, like not like super rich, but we've been really rich, like, and pretty poor. Like we lived in a 2-story house by a golf course, and then I slept on the floor of a 2-bedroom apartment. So like I've got the odd experience of being both. And what I realize is that the money and the materialistic things don't matter if your character is crap. I see so many rich kids online, even successful entrepreneurs, but I don't want to be like them because of the fruit of their character. And there's so many dudes that I see at the gym, so many guys in the boxing gym or the jiu-jitsu gym, or like just guys that you just talk to, then the fruit of their character is so much greater, even though the materialistic like fruit and flower isn't there, right? I would rather be like the other person, to be honest with you. There's a guy that really sticks out to me, and I've met him once. This dude named Carlos Rivera. He used to be in the UFC. He used to fight back in the days of like Uriah Faber. He was in the OG UFC days, not way OG, but pretty OG, like 2010s UFC. And when I sit and talk with him, he's not pulling up in a Lambo. He's a professional fighter. He's not in the UFC anymore. He doesn't have that name brand credential. But there's just something to be said about he's really good at what he does. He lives a great day-to-day life. And he's so present in every moment. And he stuck out to me so much when I think about chasing my goals, because I feel like we don't really think about the day-to-day life. You can, if your materialistic goal is a car or a house, you're only however many wholesale real estate flips away from getting kind of anything you want. But the thing is, it's like, at what point, but what happens when you get the car? What are you going to do with your life? What happens when you get that spouse, or get that bag, or get that house, or like all of that materialistic stuff is nothing. The biggest joy, the biggest blessing that I believe God can give you is a purpose, and give you a job to steward. Because if you're going day to day only chasing materialistic thing, you feel meaningless, and you feel a little dirty. Because I've been in seasons of life that all I cared about was trying to get a Rollie or try to get a cool car, and literally my life felt so meaningless because it's just a watch, it's just a car, it's just a house. Like, at what point are we gonna pull our heads out of our butt and realize how much the world's lied to us? What about 4 walls makes us so significant? You know, what about the walls around us make us so significant? What about the clothes on our body make us so significant? What about the car we drive make us so significant? It's just metal on rubber wheels anyways. Some go faster, some go slower, some are bigger, some are smaller. It's rubber wheels, rubber tires on everything else is like metal, right? Why do we get our significance from that? And I know that there's this toxic Christian belief that since we're made in the image of God, that it's almost that we can be lazy and sit back in life. And I don't think that's true. I think that's honestly like almost debauchery towards God if he made us in his image and we don't go for it. But guys, I really believe that so many of us have a dream or an aspiration, and because it doesn't pay well, or because if you don't make it all the way, it doesn't pay well, we don't even chase it. And I'm guilty of this. That's really good. I'm guilty of this. I didn't chase MMA for a really long time because I didn't think it was going to pay well for years and years and years. And that's true. But I was so empty because I knew deep down what I wanted. God will put the desire in your heart for what to chase. He'll put it in your heart. But then there's going to be some sort of counterfeit that comes. There's some sort of distraction that comes. Like, yeah, you want this, but you also like cars, but you're never going to get that car if you do this. Oh, you want to preach the word of God? Yeah, you're never going to have the Ferrari you always wanted because the preacher doesn't get rich. It's not, but like at some point, when are we going to realize that all the materialistic stuff sucks anyways? It's just a car. It's just a house. It's just a place to be. Like, no matter where it is, no matter if you have like a hypercar, or no matter if you're driving like a beat up old Honda or something, within the first month and a half, after the first month and a half of driving it every day, it just feels like your car. It'll just feel like your car. You're still sitting in a seat and holding a wheel, right? I feel like we idolize too many things. We idolize so many, like, it's just, when are we going to get rid of that? And I'm on the other side of it. God took away my materialisticness, and it was pretty bad, to be honest with you. I was really, really materialistic to the point that I would overspend on clothes to look extra classy. I was just saving up for like cool cars. Didn't really care about like investing or anything. I just wanted a mean looking ride. And then I just didn't really care about skills. I just wanted things. I didn't care about my business being good and benefiting people. I just wanted more clients, which meant more checks, which meant more things, right? I didn't care about the skill itself, the thing you can't buy. I want to encourage us today to be rich in the things we can't buy. Those are the most valuable riches in the world. For me right now, the skill set that I'm learning, the skill set that I'm mastering of mixed martial arts, like, there is zero amount of money that I can pay to make me better at this. So that means daddy's money can't get you this. That means it's impossible to corrupt this skill set. It's impossible to counterfeit this skill set. If I'm in there with someone and they beat me, it's because they were better that day at what we were doing. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that so simple, right? I feel like God made us as simple creatures in ways that the devil will overcomplicate things so much, to the point that we don't even realize what we're chasing. Guys, this is a practice that I've done that has honestly changed my life. Imagine, no matter what, if you were to achieve, if you knew 100%, if you were going to achieve a goal, if it was going to come to pass, like 100%, what kind of crazy moonshot goal would you have? Like this, the owner of Bloom always talks about this moonshot plan, this moonshot goal. If you were to if God came to you and said, hey, I'm not going to ask you anything. All I'm going to say is you have one dream, and no matter what, it's going to come to pass. What would you do? Like, what would you actually do? For me, I'd be in the UFC, and I'd preach the word while I'm being in the UFC. Like, that's honestly it for me. And a lot of us think about finances. That's the first thing we think about. And I know that's a great thing to do when we're chasing a goal. But the thing I want to tell you guys, I want you to think about is this. If you knew no matter what, everything you chased, you would fail. If you knew 100% that you would fail at something, what goal would you chase? That's the one that you should be chasing. Because if I knew 100% that I would fail by chasing the goal of going into the UFC and I actually chased it, I wouldn't regret it. I wouldn't. But if I knew 100% that if I was doing real estate investing and I failed, I would regret not chasing going to the UFC. You know? The goal that we actually want, it correlates to the life we want. The life we want is not the materialistic where you live, it's how you live. Like, your dream schedule, what is that life like? For me, it's waking up relatively early, training jiu-jitsu or boxing or kickboxing, hanging out with my wife, lifting weights. I love making videos. This is fun for me. I would love to make videos talking about my favorite two subjects is God and fighting and self-improvement. Those three. not good at counting, but I would love to live a life that all I do is the things I love. I love talking about God. I love learning about God. I love spending time with God. And I love fighting. I love those two things. But what are the two things that you love the most? And try to make a life around it. Like, if I never made it, I would still want to be in the gym every day. You know? If I never had a fight, if I never got to fight professionally, I never got to fight amateur, if I never got to compete ever again, I would still want to go to the gym and train. I would still want to do that. I would still want to get better. I would still want to eventually get my black belt in jiu-jitsu. I would eventually want to get so good at kickboxing and boxing that I feel so confident. Like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like no one can hit me. Like, I would still want to train. And like, I would still read my Bible every day. If no one ever sees these videos, I'd still want to make them. I would still make them. I'm making this video currently when no one's seeing these videos. Guys, live a life that you actually want to live. Live a life you want to live. I've read the book, The Ways of the Superior Man, and there's like a specific quote that always sticks out to me. And it says, live as if your father was dead. And like, whoa, like that's heavy, right? So heavy. But then when you think about it, like, a part of you, when I read it the first time, a part of you kind of feels a little bit of freedom. A part of you feels like a little bit of like, so dark, but a part of you feels a little bit of relief. And it's not because you don't love your dad. I love my dad. My dad's the man. I love him. But the reason why you feel that some sort of relief is because that's when you can truly call the shots on your life. Because if your father died, you wouldn't have the main male judgment in your life. You wouldn't have to go through some sort of filter of, okay, he says this, so I gotta do this. He says this, so I gotta go to college because my dad or my mom said so. As soon as that happens, as soon as that person passed away, you don't have to deal with that judgment. That's why you feel that sense of freedom. If you don't feel that sense of freedom, it's because you're doing it right. And the thing I want to tell you guys about doing it right is, do not let your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they should not have a say over what you do in life. God gave you your own sovereign mind with your own desires in your own heart. So if God made you that way, chase the things he's putting in front of you. Do the things he makes you like doing. I'm one of 3 brothers. My older brother loves football. My younger brother loves football. I eventually loved football. But when we were kids, I loved playing with cars and basketball. And because of my 2 brothers playing football, I didn't even want to play football. I started playing football, which eventually turned into a career. And it led me into brokenness. I didn't like it. I just did it. And I just eventually got really good at it, to the point that I started achieving goals in that thing. And like, but what it led me to, it was so much harder to be disciplined because I didn't envision myself being great at that. Like, every time that I would envision myself as an MMA fighter while I'm training football. And I was so dumb to like stay in that sport, even though I was having success. Even if you're having success in that field, you know deep down where you want to be in life. You know deep down what you actually want. I always wanted to fight. I always did. I always thought it was so cool. I was always so interested. I always thought it was so honorable to share the ring with someone, a worthy opponent, and duke it out. And like, I felt like it was so honorable that no matter what, if there's a dude that would win 9 out of 10 times, there's always that one chance that one guy can overcome, right? That always put chills on my spine. And I'm saying this to tell you, like, even if you're in the industry of life that you're good at, you can still fail. You can still fail at doing the thing you don't want. I feel like so many of us believe this lie that, oh, because I'm good at this, I'm not going to fail at this. What if you failed at the thing that you're doing right now and that you don't really want to do? What if you failed at the thing that isn't your end game? Your end game is what you actually want. I played football just so I can fight. I thought, oh, I'll make it to the league and then I'll be famous and then I'll go and fight. And then everyone watch my fights. It's like, What kind of goal is that? If you're putting some goal on the back burner, it's most likely the thing you're supposed to be going for. You're supposed to be going for that thing that's, oh, when everything's all said and done, I can open that business. Oh, when everything's all said and done, I can start that YouTube channel. Oh, when everything's all said and done, I'll start doing this. At what point are we going to do that? Because that's the life that will separate you from this materialistic cycle we're in. That's the life that's going to get us away from all the discounted and the counterfeits of this world. When I started chasing this, when I started going for this, I didn't care about what I was driving anymore. I didn't care about what I'm wearing. All I cared about was eating, if I can eat, if I can train, if I can love my wife, if I had a roof over my head. And if I had that, plus doing what I love, it's enough for me. So if there's something that you guys want to do, trust the fact that God will provide. And sometimes we got to fight for it. Like for me, like I'm so lucky that this whole next year, I'll have a roof over my head and food on my plate, no matter what. And I can just train. And I can just train no matter what. But even if I wasn't in that situation, I would get some sort of job to pay the bills, then to do the thing, you know? Don't make the bills your God. Don't make the bills the thing. Like, you guys will probably have to fight for your goals. You guys will probably have to get some sort of income to get that, to go for the thing you want to do. But what I'm telling you guys is going for it is so much better than not. Living a life that you're actually trying and actually going for it, it's so much better than not, because on the other side, what if it worked? What if it did? What if I made it to the UFC? What if this ministry took off and I just get the feeling that I know that every single day when I pick up my camera and I speak, it feels like somebody feels like they got a friend on the other side of the camera, and someone feels like they can get help on the other side of the camera, or someone feels that God's gonna give them a word when I talk to them. How crazy would that be, right? How crazy would it be if I made it? How crazy would it be if you made it? How crazy would it be if that moonshot goal that you got, what if it came to pass? What if it happened? What if it did? Do you know how crazy that would be? I just burped. Do you know how nuts that would be? What if? And then when I'm telling you guys this, I just want you guys to think about something. Most likely, actually 100% likely, whatever you are doing, someone's already done it before. And someone has been in a similar situation as you, or even a worse situation as you, and they still did it. So why not you? Why not you? And if not you, you can be the first. If it's too late to start something, what if you're the person that's the standard? It's like, whoa, but this person started at this age. If you have some sort of obstacle in your life, what if you're the one that set the standard, said, do you want, it's possible because this person started in this situation, and look what God did when they chased their dream, right? What if God used you? What if he did? What if God used you as a piece of motivation for people that don't want to go up and try? Imagine that. Because God can do that, and he will do that. And honestly, I'm living proof. I've been so lucky and joyful to be speaking to this camera every single day. Even though it's made me $0, it's gotten me like the most viewed videos, like 7 views. And it was probably me watching it over and over and over again. But guys, what if it worked? What if it did? And you'll never regret chasing something you genuinely want. You would never regret that. You would never regret starting that business and it goes under. You wouldn't regret it. You know you wouldn't. But you'd regret making a business that you didn't want and it didn't work. What if we lived a life that we just were truly going for something that we knew for 100% fact, if we failed, we wouldn't regret it? How would you feel about yourself? How confident would you be walking? I'm just chilling, baby. just chilling. Do you know how confident I've become knowing I'm chasing what I really want? Do you know how good it feels? It feels freaking good. It feels so good. When you chase what you genuinely want and live a life that you actually want, you feel kind of like a superhero. And I feel like that's God's favor coming over you. You feel like, it's that feeling of being obedient to God. Like, seriously, at what point are we going to drop the pride and realize if God gave us a dream that he knows better than us? I thought I was too late to start MMA. I thought it was way too late for me to start MMA. And I feel like it was even way too late, even more too late. The fact that I waited like a couple years after I started doing it to actually start really trying, or like actually start really going into it. I've been only boxing this whole time and knowing that I wanted to do MMA the whole time. Like, at what point are we going to say F it and jump? There's two types of people when it comes to going into a pool. People that tap their foot in, they kind of tap their foot in and start walking in the water, going down the stairs, going and then there's that person that just takes 2 steps and jumps in. At what point are we going to be that person that jumps in? That's the type of person that's going to get their goals. That's the type of person that's going to honor God. Do you know how much? This is one of my hot takes with Christianity, is I believe that our highest form of praise is our own individualized, skillful praise. To the point that whatever God made me really good at, or you really good at naturally, and the thing that he makes us love, if we go really, really hard at that and honor him while we're doing it, I feel like that's our highest form of praise. I can never sing. I am not a good singer. So when I sing out to God, I feel like it's beautiful, but it's not as beautiful as me going for it. And for me to try really hard at the things he made me really good at. God's anointed all of us at something. And when we actually chase that something and do it his way in that something and honor him in that something, I believe that's our highest form of praise. And praising him and doing the things we love is honestly the best feeling in the world. You'll feel so dang confident when you do it. I really want to encourage you guys to do that. Boys, I love you so much. This has been a great walk together this morning. This is completely off the dome piecer. Guys, just in proximity to your goals. Stay in proximity to your goals. Stay in proximity to the life that you want. I always think about this. Sometimes when my wife sleeps too close to me, I almost like hit her. I've almost hit her in the middle of the night sometimes. Like I roll over, and how I roll, I kind of like have my elbow out because I sleep like I'm holding a phone, and I kind of like sleep like shrugged up like this. There are times that I've rolled over and like she's got nicked by an elbow, like right in the kisser. Like I've accidentally nicked her a couple times. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is if you're in proximity with your goals, it might just happen. You might accidentally get it. You might accidentally hit that goal. Like for me, sometimes in the middle of the night, I'll like nudge my wife on accident because how close she sleeps to me. If we treat our goals the same way, we might F around and do it. Like we might mess around and achieve it. Like I've actually achieved some crazy goals in my life. And honestly, because of proximity, I F'd around and achieved it. Like seriously, if you live the day that it takes to get the goal, like Tom Brady always says, I think it was a Tom Brady quote, but it's not going to be exact, but this is kind of where along the lines of where it went, was the reason why I was better than everyone is because I outlived them. Outliving them means like they might beat him on a 5 or 10 day streak, but you're not going to beat them over the year. And if you outbeat everyone at the goal that you're going for, what if you were just consistent? What if that's just what you did? Like, I know there's people who say, oh, you can't overtrain. You can't train every day. But like at some point, your body's going to get used to just doing it every day. That's just what you do. At just what point I just train every day. That's just what you do. That could be you. You could just work every day. That's just kind of what you do. It's not overtraining. It's just kind of what I do. I'm used to it. That could be you. You can be the guy that outlasts everyone. You can be the guy that outdoes everyone just by doing it every day. That's just kind of what you do, right? You might F around and hit it. you might mess around and get that goal. I feel like I might do it again too. I might mess around and actually do this thing. Like you might mess around and actually do this. Imagine that. What if it actually happened? Have the slightest bit of faith, because guys, when we're walking with God, at what point will our faith be genuine? If all we did and all the risks we took were things that we saw coming, that wouldn't be real faith. It wouldn't be real faith if the goal wasn't crazy enough to think like, ooh, this on paper, this ain't gonna work, but what if, right? What if? That could be us, you know? What if we had the faith to believe that God can do a miracle in us? What if we had the faith to believe that we can be the standard of like, oh, I'm not gonna give up because he didn't. Oh, I'm gonna start now because even though he was too late, he did it. Oh, this almost seems impossible, but K-Mac did it, or you did it. You know? That could be us. That can actually be us. I have chills saying this, and I might just be motivating myself, but I'm gonna enjoy this refreshment, continue my walk with God, and I hope you guys have a great day. Love y'all. Peace.